Coach Jim Webb. Hartford is where he started coaching and ended his coaching career at Cadillac. He has coached for 31 years, 14 at Hartford and 17 at Cadillac. Both schools were conference champions. He had consecutive conference wins at Hartford of 20 in 25 games. 7 consecutive conference championships at Hartford. Undefeated regular seasons at both schools. His teams qualified for the state playoffs for 16 years, winning 4 district titles and a regional championship. In 1993, Hartford won the Class CC state championship with a perfect 13 wins, 0 loss record. Multiple times Red Arrow Conference Coach of the Year. Has coached 12 MHSFCA Academic All-State team. He was selected to coach in the MHSFCA East-West All-Star Game in 2008 and has been an MHSFCA Regional Coach of the Year 10 times. He was the 1993 Class CC State Coach of the Year. Coach Webb was inducted into the Cadillac High School Hall of Fame in 2016. He retired from coaching after the 2014 season from Cadillac. Coach Webb's biggest thrills in coaching: winning the Class CC State Championship in 1993 at Hartford, along with a couple of last-second wins to win the Big North Conference Championship. Coach Webb's most humorous incident in coaching: while at Hartford, in place of the expensive chutes purchased to keep the linemen low, I attached a rope to the chain link fence. The rope snapped. You can guess where it hit me. This caused the linemen to start laughing. So, as any good coach would do, I sent them on a big lap around the field for laughing at me. While really it was just giving me time to recover. What coaching has meant to Coach Webb. After 35 years in education, coaching has really completed and filled my role as an educator. Thousands of lifelong memories really does make this my life, not just a job. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of the Hall of Fame, Coach Jim Webb.
First off, I thought you'd get a little more excited. My last name starts with a W, and that pretty much indicates that we were at the end. So I really thought we'd be a little bit more enthusiastic here. I'd like to thank you for your patience out there and not sticking around just for me, but as you'll see here, I think all these awards are great, but they're earned by many people in our program, and so your sticking around not only honors me, but it's going to honor the people that I hope I can do justice to in earning this award. And unfortunately, Jack didn't do a very good job, because if you would ask any of those people over there from either one of my schools, they said, don't put him last and don't put a microphone in his hand, because he won't ever shut up. So I know you guys got a lot of time left in it, but you're safe, because quite honestly, I'm thirsty and I'm ready to go have a drink with my coaches. So we're going to get through this as quick as we can, but I do appreciate your patience here and sticking around for me here at the end. So first, I'd like to thank Jack for his work and organization of this event. Thanks to the Coaches Association for this humbling honor. Congratulations to those fellow coaches up here. I know some of you personally, and it's really an honor to be up here with you. I truly believe that football is the greatest team sport, and that this award was truly earned by a team of people. I'm fortunate enough to coach only at 2 schools throughout my 35-year career, and even more fortunate enough that basically the majority of the people involved at each school with me were with me the entire time. So because of that, my goal tonight is hopefully to give them some recognition, because obviously without them I would not be standing up there. And this is truly a team award. I know we're up here as individuals and stuff, but as you've heard over and over again, the only reason we're up here is because we had great staffs and great people behind us. I need to start off first by mentioning my mother, who passed away several years ago, and my dad, who just passed away this last Labor Day at 90 years old. They traveled all over southwestern Michigan, northern Michigan. Up northern Michigan, maybe not the best weather and whatnot, but they were with me and all the way through the years, and I really appreciate that. It meant a lot to me. Although I'm never sure if we really got enough points on the scoreboard for my mom. She'd like to see that thing lit up, and she'd always say, can't we just get a couple more touchdowns? So did our best for her, but I really appreciate them spending the time traveling around the state of Michigan in my support. Next, most three important people in my life, my wife Deb, my sons Jared and Logan. Just as you heard several times tonight, how our wives typically pick up the slack at home front. This is true with Deb. Adding to that, Deb is also a coach. My two sons being athletes, all three actually lived my coaching experience on a daily basis because of that over the many years. All the ups and downs, being on the sidelines, sitting in the bleachers, my boys being in the locker rooms, being on my teams, probably one of the neatest experiences I had as a coach, to have them both play on my team here before I retired, and that was really neat. Pretty much everything else associated with coaching, they were always there with us and showed their support, their enthusiasm, their encouragement. It was huge, and it basically gave me the longevity and the success that I had as a coach. And without them, I wouldn't be standing up here. I love you, Deb, Jared, and Logan. If you'd please stand, I'd like to recognize you for your award. I'm sure if I asked my son who's winning Michigan State or Michigan, he'd yell it out, but I don't want to get him in trouble for having his cell phone out. So maybe. I also want to recognize my youngest brother, who is out in the audience. He came down from Marquette. Quite honestly, I'm not sure if he went by dog sled or whatnot. They're over 200 inches up there. I think he left a week or two ago, but he did make it here, and I really appreciate that. He showed a lot of interest in how I was doing over the years, and not only that, he was very supportive of our golf outing, and that meant a lot to me, and I really appreciate him taking the time and coming all the way down from Marquette. I hope he gets back safely tomorrow, but John, I appreciate that. Need to thank the administration for both schools. They were very supportive, and they valued the importance of extracurricular activities, and quite honestly, I'm not sure administrators out there today maybe have that same love for extracurricular activities, and it's unfortunate because they're very important to the entire education process. My teaching and coaching experience started out in Hartford, as Jack mentioned. Denny Dock, a Hall of Famer from a couple years ago, brought me on his staff. I was very fortunate that over the years that he shared his creativity and his knowledge of the game with me, which helped develop me as a coach. Doug Perrin took over for him, promoted me up to being his defensive coordinator. Doug showed me the importance of game planning and organization. He had a huge influence on me in my coaching career, and another big influence, a huge influence on me in my coaching career. I had a great friend, Fenton Dankert. He's down in Florida right now. I told him to stay there, but Fenton probably didn't know what kind of an influence he had on me. He was just a good friend, but we used to go out and have conversations, and that conversation would be about life, education, and coaching usually. Most of the time over beverages. Fortunately, I remembered a lot of what we talked about, maybe not all of it, but I was able to tune into it, and as I said, he was just a huge influence on me. He was able to bring great focus and to what success was going to look like for me as a coach and for me as an educator, and I really appreciated his time. Moving on to my staff at Hartford, these guys were hard workers, smart, loyal coaches, in it for the right reason. They are just great for kids. And I think if you're looking for assistant coaches, that's what you're looking for. Somehow they put up with me for 10 years as a head coach. I consider them great friends. A lot of them are here tonight. I'm going to have them stand up at the end, but I'd like to recognize them right now by their name. John Smith, Terry Manning, Larry Rogowski, Terry Pike, Tom Shoemaker. Tom took over the reins for me when I left and moved up to Cadillac. Bruce Pennington, the late Joe Clackle, Fred Knight, Gary Ackerman, Roy Rosales. And I'm able to do that because I think I had a special situation here. As I mentioned, I was 10 years there, moving on here next to Cadillac, I was 17 years there. Most of my coaches were with me for the entire time, which is very unique. I know it's taken a chance to read their names off because you might forget somebody, but in my case, I'm pretty confident that these guys were the guys that were with me, and I love them for being there. 1998, John Horgan, the athletic director at Cadillac, and the late Sue Westhauser contacted my wife and myself and basically did a great job of convincing us that that would be a good career move, good for our family, and so we did that. John Horgan, the athletic director, showed great support over the years, and I appreciate that. I was so blessed to have a staff at Cadillac that possessed many of the same great qualities as my Hartford staff did, and one of the neatest things for me was there was an actual crossover between the two great groups of people that I had. Through the clinics that we'd go to, they got to meet each other. Some of them stayed on and coached at Hartford, and then the ones I brought on at Cadillac, they got to know each other. Some of the Hartford coaches come up and golf in our golf outing at Cadillac. It was just one of the really neat things for me as a head coach to see, and very rewarding. I started out with 2 sets of friends and ended up with one big set of great friends, and I appreciate that. The Cadillac coaches actually surpassed the Hartford game as they had to stick out and put up with me for 17 years. And again, I'm going to name them off and have them stand here at the end. Todd Baker is my defensive coordinator. Pat Hinkle, I thank him for the nomination for this award and taking the time to do that. Mike Brines, Van Bossman, Steve Meyer, Bob Kellogg, Brandon Oberhaus, Marty Cartwright, Nate Metzger, Jason Main, Mike Oley, and Chuck Konzorski. These guys put in just tons of hours and years with me, and I really appreciate that. I add on here, I'm going to thank the hundreds of players that we had that bought into our program, made commitments, and worked their butts off and displayed unselfishness. Left us with so many great lifelong memories, but I didn't really want to get naming them off, but I do have one special athlete that showed up today and is very touching. He is probably the best running back that I coached in my 35 years, definitely one of the top for sure, and he's also got one of the best names in college, and he played college football but also high school football, is Dewey Sweat. So Dewey, appreciate you coming back, and he was a record holder in the Silver Dome. That's where they used to play the playoffs for you younger guys. He was a record holder in the Silver Dome. He had 5 touchdowns in our state championship game. So Dewey, appreciate you being here. Like to thank the Boosters and the Touchdown Club for their support. They really added to our program and allowed us to provide a special experience for the players, and that's what it was all about. Lastly, I'd like to thank the community and the fans for the years of support and enthusiasm. There's truly nothing like a Friday night under the lights with a full set of stands behind us, and without the fans and the communities and that support, I'm not sure any of us would enjoy it as much as we do. So at this time, I would like to have, and this is going to be the last thing for me, all of the Hartford and all of the Cadillac coaches and community people here, administrators, please stand, rise. If nothing else, let's give them a round of applause here. So, thank you,